Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you heard of Virtual PBX?
No, what is that, like virtual peanut butter and jelly?
Virtual PBX provides affordable business phone plans for entrepreneurs that need a way to connect to their customers. Never give out a personal number again. They offer business telephone numbers, call forwarding, professional greetings, and so much more.
Isn't that the phone you have in your office?
That's correct. I have a Virtual PBX Link, the T21P E2, but it is the same phone that you will see on the NBC show The Office. So when you see Dwight and Jim slamming down the phone, I have that same exact phone.
Nice. Do you have a stapler and Jell-O?
It's the most important aspect of an office, making sure you have a good telephone.
Yeah, and I think you can save 15% off when you sign up, right?
That's correct. If you go to virtualpbx.com/podcast, again, that's /podcast, you can save up to 15% and you can enjoy their new Flex plans starting as low as $13 per month.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yes. Are you looking to start a new business or have to have professional greetings, call forwarding, texting, voicemail, virtual receptionist? If you're looking for any of those items, don't go anyplace else but Virtual PBX.
That sounds cool. I kind of want a sandwich right now.
Mike wants a sandwich and you deserve a better IP phone solution. Visit Virtual PBX. Visit them at virtualpbx.com/podcast. We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of TechTime Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out TechTime Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Roday here. We got David Brown behind the board. And welcome to our
Season 3.
Our Season 3, that's right.
We're premiering.
We are premiering a 2-hour broadcast of TechTime Radio. From here on out, we have moved. We've got poor Jamie, the cook, has only been moved an hour behind us. So if you're going to come on in the second hour and want to hear cooking advice, I don't think Mike and I are going to be too good at cooking advice, let me tell you.
Well, we can give them cooking advice. They just might not want it.
That's right. So you'll have to
Especially after we've been drinking whiskey for 2 hours.
For 2 hours, that's right. We got 2 hours to do that. Well, you're joining us live. It is Saturday. We are in the studio from 4 to 6 p.m. here on KKNW 1150 a.m. We're also broadcasting on youtube.com/TechTime, Twitch TV /TechTime.
Get it right, man.
Facebook.com/TechTime. And you can tweet us at twitter.com/TechTime Radio.
You got
I'm trying
it?
to get through all of those, man. There's just so many. But we have a brand new website. So really what we'd love you to do is go take a look at www.techtimeradio.com, and you can watch streams there, information. We've done a complete redesign. We thank Christina Petrie and ChristinaPetrie.com for helping us design the website, and I was very demanding on lots of stuff to do, so the poor gal had to work extra time. So welcome to our 2-hour show. This is the current and only 2-hour technology
TechTime
show.
Radio and TechTime Radio Plus.
That's right. We see the second hour.
The second hour is Plus.
Plus, we're going to charge everybody $9, right?
That's right.
Charge you $9 to watch the Plus hour. All right, on our 2-hour show today, we have a great Standard items in the first hour. So if you're worried that we've changed the first hour, no, we just went crazy on the second hour. So first hour is normal.
The first hour is normal, and the second hour is the after party.
And we're going to see what's going to be happening after we have our drinks. That's right.
That's right.
On today's show, we have Nick Espinoza, chief security fanatic, back on the show to talk about fake cryptocurrency websites. We're going to be talking about a website.
Like fake cryptocurrency companies?
Well, we talked about that already before. We're going to be talking about exchanges that are actually set up where people will go in and put money into that. And we're going to have a whole dialogue about what happens if you are investing into a cryptocurrency exchange.
Well, you're giving money to somebody else.
And what happens if they disappear? So we're going to be talking about that, Nick. I'm excited to have him here. We're also going to be having on our segment what we found on the web. We're going to be talking about children-designed apps from ages 3 to 13 for social media. This is the big hit that's going on right now. So your 3-year-old, do you want your 3-year-old to have an app so they can do something like TikTok, something like social media? We're going to be talking about 3 different apps that are out there right now that are trying to capitalize on this market itself.
That's right. Capitalization.
That's right.
Yes.
And then we're going to have our top stories in the first 5 minutes. We're going to be talking about some robotic police dogs, some NFTs, vaccination passports, and tons of great stuff. But we always have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, brought to you by StoriCoffee. Are you excited? The month just starts, so you get your new bag of StoriCoffee coming in the mail soon, don't you?
Should be coming.
That should be coming. Are you already out of StoriCoffee again?
I'm out of it within the first
It's so
week
good.
or so.
It's so good. It's so good. So everybody, you can get a free bag of StoriCoffee. Go to StoriCoffee.com/TechTime. And if you put that code in, you get a free bag. You should absolutely do a free bag to see if you like it. If you don't like it and you want burnt coffee, then order Starbucks. But otherwise, grab it. It is fantastic. All right. Well, I'm sure we're going to have a great show today. Some subjects that will make you go, and we'll be sipping some whiskey for 2 hours. We are going to start with as always, our loaded question of the day for Mike.
What?
All right. What is a sure sign that someone is weird?
Really?
Well, that's what it is. Yeah.
How about wearing a cap with a checkered red and blue shirt with a jacket? How about that?
Wow. Really? What would you say? What this categorizes as weird? This is like fashion statement.
Well, yeah, it's like the JCPenney shorts the other day.
What is this? This is at least 1980s. You said the other one was 70s, so this should be 80s.
Well, that's kind of like, that's almost tweed.
Okay. I love these type of jackets, dude. These are like awesome jackets. These are like, you ever watch Mad Men?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have these all over
that's about the 50s, buddy.
Oh, was it? Okay, so I'm just
or the 60s. Okay. 50s, is it 50s or the 60s?
A throwback. I'm a nostalgic throwback type of guy.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Whatever you have to tell yourself.
All right. Well, congratulations. All right. If you want to engage with us, we'd love to have you engage with us. Go to twitchtv.com/TechTime Radio. You can put live chats in, and we'll talk about them on the air. We got our laptops here, Surfaces all up and working. Hopefully our hard drives don't go bad on those, as we talked about last week. And again, if you want to engage us and ask us some questions specifically on the topics we're going to be talking about later on in the second hour, you can always reach out to 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-KKNW. That's 1-888-298-5569. All right, Mike.
What?
We are going to have to start off our show, but go into our first segment.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
All right, disaster girl meme of a young girl smiling as a house burns down in the background has sold her popular meme as an NFT for 180 Ether, which is equivalent to $600,000. It was $500,000 yesterday. Now it's $600,000 today. That is correct. Yeah, with the Ether price. We have a little bit of an audio to play there, and we're going to listen out.
It's not often you get to become a meme, and it's even less often you have any control or get to make any money from it. But the girl in this photo, Zoe Roth, has just pocketed almost $650,000 by selling her Disaster Girl meme as an NFT. The photo was taken back in 2005 when Zoe's dad noticed that just down the road, a house was on fire.
Hey look, a house is on fire.
It was actually deliberately lit by the local fire department as a test burn, and nobody was inside. Zoe's dad entered it into a photography competition, and it got published in a magazine. Shortly after, it started being shared online, with people adding funny text or cropping Zoe out and putting her in front of other photographs. Zoe's now 21 and in college, and the money she's made will pay for her school fees, and she'll donate a bunch of it to charity. It may seem like a lot for a single moment, but it's one that's likely to last forever in meme history.
All right, so her memes are hot, and so are NFTs. And you know what? We have a TechTime Radio NFT. So on our new website, if you go to our merchandise or store deal, you can actually take a look at our NFTs that we have available for purchase on OpenSea.io. They're a picture of the front page of our script to make sure they're legit, and then Mike draws during the show the picture, and then he shows it up at the end of the show, so you can get that. But let's talk about this.
They're twins.
That's right. That's exactly.
They're twinding.
You know what? That's exactly our NFT is just as good as Disaster Girl. So you know what? I'm expecting $600,000 for the next bidder. There you go.
All right.
Interesting though. So Roth's NFT was purchased by 3F Music, a Dubai-based music studio. Based music studio with surprisingly deep pockets that has also bought several other big-ticket NFTs, including Overly Attached Girlfriend.
That's with the guy.
Yep. Overly Attached Girlfriend for 400,000 plus, and the New York Times has also said that the NFT column of the New York Times that they placed was also purchased.
Oh man,
for $500,000. So they have purchased 3 different NFT areas. When asked about why they've been so aggressive in some of this, they said that our management team is always in cooperation with some highly knowledgeable and expertise art advisors who believe that we must grow with technology movements that help us not to only promote our business, but also support artists of the art market.
And there's only so many leopards you could drive around in Lamborghinis in Dubai, huh?
So I guess so. So that's what it is. All right, story number 2. Here we go. Stratolaunch. Stratolaunch. It's going to be an interesting article. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The
excitement there.
The gargantuan airplane finally takes flight a second time. The world's largest airplane by wingspan took to the skies once again on Thursday. On Thursday, the Stratolaunch reached the skies for its second test flight. It's like
in how many years?
Like 10 plus years. 2 years after its first voyage into the air, Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen dreamed up the plane. What we'll say on the article, but
careful there, buddy.
But I got to be very careful. I have a lot of NDAs I got to be careful.
That's
of.
right.
All right, dreamed up the plane, but didn't live to see its first flight in 2019. So he passed away sadly before he got to see it go. The Stratolaunch carrier is powered by 6 engines. It has a wingspan of over 385 feet. That's bigger than a standard NFL football stadium.
Yeah.
We're airborne, the company tweeted along with a video of the plane named Rock lifting up the runway in the Mojave Air and Spaceport in California. To learn more about the thinking of Paul Allen, I suggest reading his book, The Idea Man.
Oh, no.
And if you purchase The Idea Man...
Was it page 345?
No, 336.
336.
If you visit to page 336, you can see that your host here was thanked personally by Microsoft co-founder, Mr. Allen.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. All right, story number 3. And that was a name drop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, there we go. And I have worked for him for 5+ years. So
I know.
In a recent article, that's right, you do. In a recent article posted in the New York Times, what are we going to do with COVID-19 vaccine passports, passes, and even apps around the globe?
Oh, no.
For a variety of digital and old-fashioned approaches are being used to confirm the vaccination for entry of public places. You got yours?
Yeah, there's my card.
It's your white card. It's the latest status symbol. Flash it to people and you get access into concerts, sports arena, and long-forbidden restaurant tables, unless you're in the city of Snohomish. Thank you, David. And then you still have to tell them that you're vaccinated to have your son's 21 first birthday party last night, which you were a part of, and they still didn't want to let us do that. All right, the new platinum card of the COVID age is the vaccine certificate. But what about going digital, like your Apple Pass credit card or a QR code scanner? Today in our 2-hour show, we're going to be divided and we're going to be talking specifically about should technology replace the easy, recognizable yellow card that is needed with your passport to say that you have certain vaccination shots into a digital solution, and would it be even better to have
yellow
a digital passport? Yeah, if you travel overseas,
have to pee on it?
So if you travel overseas, and I've done that, you have to have a yellow card that goes with your passport. So when you go to check in, you put your passport out there, you put your yellow vaccination chart to make sure that it's taken care of, just signed by somebody, so you could have anybody essentially sign
like
it.
your old school.
Yeah, so
vaccination
so
card.
what if we decide to replace it? So we got a long segment that we're going to talk about that, lots of different opinions. We're going to go through each of the countries that have released an application out on a mobile device and see what we think about it. All right, and last story number 4, New York Police Department terminates robot police dog contract with the Boston Dynamics following criticism over an overly aggressive policing tactics. So the robot is over aggressively.
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah.
It looks really intimidating.
So it was yellow. It was yellow.
And it was yellow.
It was yellow. It was bright yellow.
It had its vaccinations.
It had its vaccinations.
Yeah, there you go.
So essentially, they ended the $94,000 a year contract, which seems pretty inexpensive. Now, this dog has essentially been able to go on in, and he was equipped with cameras, lights, sensors, and was used with artificial intelligence to even help navigate complex environments in October, delivering food to hostages that were being secluded for some hostage ransom. So they decided to get rid of the police dog. How are we going to go to Terminator 2 type of times if we get rid of all this stuff and go back to standard stuff?
We're not ready yet.
We're not ready for T2 stuff?
No.
It looked like a T2 dog, too.
I think that's probably the primary driver is that we're not quite ready for this yet.
We're just a little scared is that it is. All right, well, you know what? To see all of our factual information, you can go to TechTimeRadio.com and look underneath our new blog section on Monday at 11 a.m. There will be all of our stories with details that you're not able to get here due to time constraints. So up next, we have our interview with Nick Espinoza on security and criminal scam acts in a segment we call Technology Insider. Mike will be bringing us his NFT during the commercial break, and we will be sipping some whiskey on the side with our pick of the day. We'll see right after the other side of this commercial break. Thank you.
Did you know that up to 12 to 15% of Americans grind their teeth at night while they sleep? Yeah, it's called bruxism. I used to work at a sleep lab, and we used to measure that, and it leads to a lot of problems like headaches and destroys your teeth. It wears down the enamel, and it's just very hard on your mouth.
So every once in a while I'll wake up, my jaw will hurt. Do you think I'm grinding my teeth at night?
Yep.
Well, so how do you go about protecting this then?
The number one recommended way of protecting yourself from teeth grinding is what's called a night guard, which is a custom fitted prosthetic that you put inside your mouth. It usually runs, hundreds of dollars, but I know our sponsor, Smile Brilliant, can get you custom fitted night guards for as little as $45 a piece.
So if you go to smilebrilliant.com and use TechTime Radio at checkout, you can receive 20% off your complete order. So visit smilebrilliant.com and use the TechTime Radio at checkout code. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Have you heard about 180 Consulting?
No.
I love these guys. You know how much I avoid working with copy vendors, right?
Actually, I get to hear about it all the time.
Not anymore, because guess what? The guys at 180 Consulting took over the entire process. They assessed our needs, worked directly with the vendors on my behalf, and helped us understand our option. No sales fluff, just good information so we can make the right decision.
Well, that sounds good. How do they get paid?
Their only compensation comes from a small share of the cost savings they create. They work for us, and it's a win-win.
That sounds like a no-brainer.
There's 2 ways to reach them. You can get them at info@180-consulting.com or visit them online at www.180-consulting.com.
www.180-consulting.com.
Thank you, Mike. 180-consulting.com.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Pager, host of An Informed Life Radio. In an age when the term misinformation is used to silence criticism and debate about COVID-19, vaccines, and more, we're bringing you doctors, lawyers, and scientists to discuss the missing information about your health and medical freedom. An Informed Life Radio airs right here on KKNW every Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. We're starting a real health revolution, one conversation at a time. Join us.
We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of TechTime Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out TechTime Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Welcome back to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. If you want to join us with your opinion on COVID-19 vaccination digital passports, we're going to ask you to join us in a second hour. You can call us on the phone at 425-373-5527 or 188-298-KKNW, or you can even ask us a question on Twitter at hashtag TechTime Radio. Mike, during the break, we got to sample our whiskey, and our pick of the day during the show is the Evan Williams Single Barrel 2013 86.6 proof bottle.
86.6.
That's what it says. Yes,
Nice.
because it's 43.3% alcohol by volume.
43.
Only the English in America would decide to take the alcohol by volume and decide to come up with their own proofing system. So, yes. What do you, it
What are you
has.
bagging on?
I'm just saying that we have inches over centimeters. We just thought everything was uniquely different. So it's a 86 proof. It's about $33 a bottle, and it has considered to be the up-and-coming, well-rounded palate for a great body with rich caramel aromas. What do you think?
It's very tasty.
It's pretty tasty, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to
It's
make
got
sure.
a little bit of a bite.
It does at first,
but
right? It kind of
it's got a really
hits you, but then it
smooth
doesn't. It
taste
doesn't
afterwards.
linger a little bit either. So
No,
that's great.
no,
All right.
very
Well,
light.
we're really excited to be inviting our guest Nick Espinosa back to the show. We're excited to have him as a part of our season 3 kickoff with our 2-hour show. So we are going to start our next segment with him.
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right, we're bringing Nick up on the camera. Nick, hopefully
There he
everything
is.
is going
Hi, Nick.
well today. How you doing, Nick?
I'm officially going to bid on your NFT.
You're gonna. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
My starting bid is, I'm going to bid $1 million, and I hope you take third-party, out-of-state bad crypto.
A bad crypto. That's what we
That's the only way I pay.
That's what we're going to talk about right now.
That's
isn't it?
right. That is absolutely. That's
Right
great.
on.
Hey, thank you very much for joining us. Our show. We're excited to have you on. This is our big 2-hour launch, and I couldn't be more excited to have you as a part of our regular show that goes into syndication the first hour, and then our second hour. We'll have to get you back there because that will be a little bit more drunker. I mean, we'll be a little bit more
What?
drink. We'll be a little bit more drink savvy at that
we
time.
will be a little bit more relaxed.
More relaxed.
There
That's
you
a better.
go.
That's a better word. There you go. And then we can talk about lots of
what
stuff.
do you got
and
going on
up
there?
What do you have, Nick? Do you have something to drink there?
Yeah, so my go-to is typically Lagavulin.
Okay.
Although in the moment I'm drinking Johnny Walker at the moment. so.
Okay, a little Johnny Walker's good. I
Black
like Johnny-
label?
Good stuff.
You doing the black label?
Blue.
Oh, the blue label. All right. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
he's a little bit more.
Happen to have some around, so matches my shirt. All good.
Oh, good. All right. There you go. You and Mike could almost be brothers. You guys got. Well, you got a purple shirt.
I got a purple shirt
Okay,
on,
that's
man.
right. You got a blue shirt on last week. All
Yes,
right.
I did.
I know because I had to re-edit some stuff on the video.
And I
so
didn't wear shorts.
Oh, you didn't wear shirt. Oh, wow. All right. So the CEO of Theodex cryptocurrency exchange in Turkey exited, fleeing the country with $2 billion worth of customer assets. Let's talk about it. Istanbul police say that Farouk Azur, 27, the exchange founder and CEO, left the country on Tuesday, flying to Albany, capital of Tyrrhenia. The Associate Press reported, saying that the CEO has disappeared with up to $2 billion in assets. But in response to allegations that he's fled the country or stolen any funds, Ozir says that he's been a victim of a smear campaign and vows to clear his name after securing additional financing. Oh, that's great. Okay.
He's going to get more money so he can clear his name.
Here's what's known. The exchange appeared to have experienced some problems on Monday, but largely operated normally until the start of Tuesday with the cryptocurrency exchange tracking site CoinMarketCap, who reported that the exchange had been trading more than $585 million in cryptocurrency. So big active cryptocurrency site. But later that day, users were unable via social media to withdraw any of their funds.
No.
Oh, CoinMarketCap spokesman tells CoinDesk that the exchange stopped providing trading data around 1 p.m. on Tuesday. The state-run Turkish press agency said that they have criminal investigations regarding the board known as MASK. Has launched a investigation into Azir, and on Tuesday, authorities froze the exchange bank accounts.
Uh-oh.
The agency says the Office of Istanbul Prosecutors has appeared for victims to come forward. This has happened before, though. Of course, we've had this happen with other cryptocurrency exchanges, specifically Mt. Gox, is there Gox or Gox or Gox. Essentially had the same exact issue happen to them, but they were able to essentially find some cryptocurrency that were in cold storage, and they were able to almost give all the, because the cryptocurrency went up in value, get all of the investors' money back that they had there originally.
So they cleared their name.
So they were taken care of, but we got a cryptocurrency that people were actively selling and trading in that has essentially disappeared overnight. So, Nick, let's talk about this, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So people do this all the time, right? People get an email or they see something on YouTube, and all of a sudden there's a commercial, and they say, okay, I'm going to start investing into cryptocurrency. I'm going to invest into a place.
Right.
I have two cryptocurrency companies that I use. I use KU Coin, which is a Japanese company, just because I can buy the really small and cryptocurrency. And then I got Coinbase. But anything that I'm really, really doing, I'm essentially saving it on KU Coin to a ledger device, which is a hardware device of cryptocurrency.
Which is a real physical
device. We talked about it on the show.
Electronic wallet.
And then I transfer it to Coinbase to make sure that everything kind of stays, because Coinbase seems to be the most legit site that is available out there.
There seems to be.
Yeah, well, there's
a major player.
It's a major player. So tell me, Nick, how does this happen, and why are people falling for this all the time? This is the second or third time that this happened in the last 3 months.
Right. Well, I think it's first things first. I think it's important to differentiate basically the theft of cryptocurrency with an actual fraudulent or fake cryptocurrency exchange. Okay. And we've seen these happen from around the world, these fake exchanges that get created. So South Korea's had a rash of these things. They had one called BitKRX, I think it was back in 2017, that essentially was a fake cryptocurrency, and people were investing, and they basically ripped them off. They had another one called Comid, that was KOMID, also a while back that was happening as well. There have been ones out of the Netherlands and Britain as well. 6 people were actually arrested by creating a fake cryptocurrency online. They got something like 4,000 victims and millions, like tens of millions of actual dollars in cryptocurrency that they were able to use, and basically started actually getting into their users' accounts and stealing information, including cryptocurrency itself. And mind you, these are the ones that we know about. Not to mention the theft that we see on a regular basis of somebody just getting their wallet stolen, broken into and stolen. So it's a huge, huge problem that we have right now with this. And it's in part because trust, I think, is a really, really powerful thing that we simply just lack when it comes to common sense in technology and cryptocurrency. If you think about it this way, all the currencies, I don't care if it's the US dollar or Bitcoin or anything in between, they all basically have a dependency on trust in the people that are using this. So basically, if you have to trust, for example, the U.S. government, that they're essentially going to back and insure the currency that we use here in the United States, and to that end, they regulate the currency against fraud and counterfeiting and theft and all of that. So if your bank, like I walk into your bank and I rob, let's say, your account, you're FDIC insured. And that's something that cryptocurrency doesn't have. They thwart counterfeiting by virtue of blockchain technology, but that's not perfect either. In fact, the Cloud Security Alliance released a report of about 200 different types of attacks or threats that blockchains have, such as rollback attacks, types of denial of service attacks that might separate you from your trading or your currency, and more. And in terms of regulation, there is no regulation whatsoever in cryptocurrency, which attracts some investors, but also pushes away others when they start researching about this. So things like pump and dump schemes, for example, are rampant. For example, recently, I know, Nathan, your best friend is John McAfee. He was recently caught in charge with a pump and dump scheme on cryptocurrencies. And the vast majority of these things go under the radar, and they even advertise online. You can go Google pump and dump schemes, and there are organizations out there that you can belong to that you'll help inflate the currency and then sell it at the top end and leave everybody else holding the bag. These are things like in the U.S. stock market and stock markets around the world that are regulated, and with no backing of a state for things like this, theft is rampant in this with no kind of FDIC insurance anywhere on the planet.
So even like Coinbase, right? Very reputable, very reputable site. Really, we're relying upon them to maintain their business practices, and they don't allow every cryptocurrency to be traded because they want to do some regulations to specifically make sure that these
they're
are
trying
more
to
legit.
self-regulate.
Yeah, they're trying to
right. That's self-regulation, though. No government has
Correct.
put a gun to their head and said you have to do this. And if I'm able to get access to your Coinbase account, whatever you've got in there, assuming it's not in cold storage, it's actually in the account, I can just steal it. And too bad, sucks to be you, but I now have your cryptocurrency, and you're not getting that back.
And Coinbase has that. I had to deal with an account on my work area where an account got broken into. Somebody had remote access into a computer and essentially went into their Coinbase account and put immediately a transfer to another Bitcoin address, another Litecoin address, another address, and essentially transferred the money out. Once the individual found out about it and was excited and contacted Coinbase, and they said, "Well, we're really sorry about that. You need to keep that secure because that's really on your own," and out hundreds of thousands of dollars this individual was. So, okay, so now we got that. So now let's talk about cryptocurrency exchange websites. So that's a little bit different. That's what happened to our buddy here, is where he was running a whole site that was essentially selling and buying and trading and allowing people to pour money into it, and then he was paying them out. So let's explain about them, because those are kind of now the new trendy fake items, just like cryptocurrency can be fake, but there's a lot of these popping up all over everywhere too.
Yeah, I mean, and that's we're seeing a lot of that right now. I mean, if you're looking at the one out of Turkey, Thodex, basically it really underscores the power of social media here, because the Turkish authorities had no idea this was going on until basically citizens of Turkey started exploding on Twitter saying, "Hey, I can't get into this. I think this is a scam." But we are seeing a lot of these fly-by-night operations that essentially spin up, and what they'll end up doing is offering you just either guarantees that a cryptocurrency can't have a guarantee on, like, yes, we guarantee return on your investment, or yes, we will insure your cryptocurrency that you won't lose money on your investment, kind of thing. It's all fake. I mean, there's none of that in actual cryptocurrency. And when we are looking at this, when we have something that's hot in the news, we see a absolute explosion of cyber criminals start to use that. A parallel example would be at the beginning of COVID. And I think we talked about that probably on a previous show, but at one point, 5,000 domains a day, 5,000 websites a day were being registered for COVID-19 and coronavirus. Yep. And basically, these were fake sites on where you could attempt to buy toilet paper or PPE or, actually claim that stimulus check that you never got, these kinds of things. This translates directly to the latest trend. And as we've seen an explosion in the price of Bitcoin, now Ethereum, I think, has been blowing up, and some of the others, we're going to continue to see this. You're going to continue to see these advertisements, on the major spaces saying, "Come join my thing because, come join my website, my trading platform, because, we'll guarantee that your investment will keep going up." And if you recall, when Bitcoin hit almost 20,000 a few years ago, people were mortgaging their homes on this.
Yeah.
Banking like, "Oh my God, this is going up." And now people are saying Bitcoin, due to instability in the world, is going to reach 150,000 US per coin. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. So we're seeing a huge rush of investors at least dipping their toes into this situation, which is just ripe for every scam on the planet because there's no regulation.
Right. So if you go to the Thodex website right now and you have to translate it into English, there's an English translator from Google, thank goodness. It essentially says that we have been victimized as a team of people and experts with the social media is not necessarily to be picking on us. And the volume of Thodex and all the trade volume of cryptocurrency will be at a returned level at a later time. We have made accounts payable to 3,000 users have been cleared. If I was to steal the money, I would have just taken the money and not left my current accounts open. And that is all the information that you have right here.
Is that Aziz?
Well,
yeah, that's printed from their website as of this morning.
Well, what makes it weird, though, is the timeline of this. because users were starting to complain.
Yep.
That basically MASAK, the MASAK, which is the investigate, like the fraud investigation for financial crime in Turkey, was basically getting wind of this and starting to look into this. He goes and flies to Albania.
Yep.
Everybody is down, like, a total combined something like $2 billion. And then an investigation starts the day after the assets are frozen by this. So I don't know how they are able to pay out unless it's through that authority. Not to mention the fact that you're talking about non-Turkish citizens that could go there. You, for example, Nathan just said you've got basically an exchange in Japan that you use.
Yep.
And, it didn't take you sending in a passport to do that, did it?
No, just,
right.
I didn't even have to put my name or anything with it. So it's very...
It's all about the system.
Yeah, so I just put some Bitcoin in and boom, they took it from me, and I've been able to trade on there for a couple of years now.
There it is. Right, and you put trust and faith in the choice you made for using them. And I'm not saying you made a bad choice or anything like that, but that's essentially what we're talking about here. The users are looking at Thodex, and maybe it's mostly Turkish citizens, but there's no reason why somebody from a neighboring country or the United States, American citizens that have family back in the home country, are using them. So this is the problem that we have as well, because there's no regulation nationally or internationally on this. It's going to be very interesting to see who gets resolved in this, assuming that there is something to resolve. Like in the case of Mt. Gox, they basically went under. And if I'm recalling correctly, because I think that was back in like 2016 or something like that.
2017, yep, 17.
Yeah, they actually had a massive theft.
Yep.
We're talking like tens of millions of dollars worth
hackers
of,
came on in and stole a bunch of stuff from them.
Just blew them out. And by virtue of that, if you had an account on Mt. Gox, there was nothing you could do. I mean, there was no recourse, there was no FDIC insurance, or anything like that anywhere on the planet. And so, here we are.
You had to wait almost 2 years to get your money back. And only because the cryptocurrency went up in value. And they cashed it out, were they able to find some...
Well, at least they tried to make good on it.
Well, the company didn't, but they had people come on in investigating with that, and they found some cold storage Bitcoin, and they decided to use that to do it. So, yes, luckily people got most of their money back, but that was all circumstances that were lucky in that event to actually get the money back.
Right, and you can seamlessly convert your currency. And if I went with $100,000 in U.S. cash, and I went into any bank and said, give me the equivalent in euros, there's a ledger somewhere that a government knows that I just did that.
Yep.
Whereas with this, I can say, give me $10 million of Bitcoin and trade it in for Ethereum, Dogecoin, take your pick, right? And essentially the only thing that's there is the blockchain.
Yep.
So, and that's actually one of the big problems we have in cybersecurity is because these currencies are unregulated, it's basically really enabled people like ransomware attackers to use cryptocurrency because they're very hard to track, they're very hard to trace. Not to mention the drug lords, weapon traffickers, and international terrorists all use cryptocurrency to move money now because it's just so hard to track on a global scale. And you can move that money and convert it everywhere. It's a real scourge in the cybersecurity community attempting to track these people. And when they're asking for ransoms in the millions when they're hitting corporations, it's a difficult thing all the way around. It's a headache for law enforcement globally.
So if you're giving advice to a listener listening to the show, right? So some people are absolutely at the entry level. Should I do cryptocurrency? Should I not do? I get this asked all the time, right on the street. Should I do cryptocurrency?
I get it on Facebook all the time.
Should I not do cryptocurrency? Is it to be trusted? Is it not to be trusted? We talked about it where it's as reliable as monopoly money, and it's about the same value. But intrinsically, people have a value for cryptocurrency, so it's worth some money. What if your grandma, your mom asks you that she wants to invest $100,000 in a cryptocurrency? What would you tell them?
If my mother wanted to do that,
I'd be like, where have you been with all that money?
No, I'm like, my inheritance, really? No, no. I would probably for an investor that, let's say, is older and sees these rates of exchange. I think, or rather the increase in what Bitcoin is doing. I would be cautious about it only in the sense that the last thing you want to do financially, and it's just good advice, I don't care what you're doing, is putting all of your eggs in one basket.
Absolutely.
Feel free to dip your toes in, feel free to, to invest what you want, but make sure that you're using a large and reputable site. And, by virtue of that, there are some tips I can give you on how to basically spot a fake site if you want. I mean, it's I think there are things that are indicators that a lot of people take for granted, or they see that big shiny, basically your $10,000 will be $150,000, in a year and a half because of, the amazing power, of Bitcoin or whatever it is. But I mean, I think the first thing that I would say is just do your research. If you get an advertisement for this or you're looking at a website, Google it. I mean, people are more than happy to dish online legitimately about the good, the bad, and the ugly of whatever they're using. And I mean, I think that's your very first stop, and everybody has access to Google Google loves that. But the second thing is if an exchange that you're looking at promises a rate of return on an investment that really seems too good to be true,
get rid of it.
It probably is, right? I mean, this is speculative currency, and so there's no guarantees with this. Also, don't succumb to pressure to deposit funds. Legitimate exchanges usually don't deploy tactics like that to solicit clients. So I think that's an important one to really understand. If they are saying you have to invest in order to work on this platform, that is something I think that would throw up a red flag in the cryptocurrency world. Also, if the communication that you're getting from this place looks like spam, if they're asking persistently for things like recharging of wallets, that is a red flag to me as well. Because again, most of them, like Coinbase, is just going to leave you alone.
That's right.
You're just up to your own devices. Also, unsolicited offers or calls with advice on investing or buying cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, even if they say they're from financial advisors or brokers, there's no reason why you can't look these people up. Or if they're coming or originating from things like unregulated cryptocurrency exchanges, basically trust your gut on that. Platforms that ask for, high registration or withdrawal fees, obviously, is another huge one as well. Would you use a checking account that every time, let's say you had to go into overdraft because you forgot to move money, they're going to hit you up for $200 fee? Hell no. Nobody would use that.
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean? Or also
use Coinbase. That's my solution.
Right.
Use Coinbase. They're legit. They've been there. If you're going to be playing with this stuff, be careful. Use Coinbase.
Sure, but I think it's important to understand, though, too, that a lot of sites are going to look and feel like Coinbase, might actually say Coinbase, but they're actually malicious as well. So it's important to understand, I think, these tips and tactics. Trust your gut. Make sure that you are doing your homework, that you are doing your research. If it feels like a scam, it's a scam. I mean,
cash.
The third law.
That's right.
Cash under the mattress.
There you go.
That's right.
Yes,
all right.
Right next to the shotgun.
All right, Nick, we are almost out of time. We are actually out of time. We're about 5 minutes out of time. But that's all right. We got another 2 hours so that's good. We got 2 hours. We got plenty more to cover.
Right on.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Absolutely. If you guys are thinking about being a part of cryptocurrency, go to Coinbase or go to some place. Like Nick says here,
do your research.
Do your research.
Do your research.
Do your Googling and find out information before you put any money into anything. And if you really want to take a risk, just put it in the American stock market, and then you can just have your risks that way too, right? That's at least some regulated processes in that.
Coffee cans in the backyard.
Oh, okay, there you go. All right, Nick, thank you very much for joining us. We'll talk to you again, I'm sure, on TechTime Radio.
Yeah, bye, Nick.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, when we come on back, we're going to be talking about kids' apps that have been around forever. On what we found on the web, we still have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, and we are excited to be extending it into our second hour, so we'll see you after this commercial break.
Warning, this podcast is inappropriate, dumb, and should not be listened to. Oral discretion is advised. Fat Tango presents a monthly scripted comedy show. Each episode is a self-contained short story that showcases the sick, twisted senses of humor of its creators. Episodes range from podcast parodies to supernatural encounters and cartoonish ridiculousness.
I do this in the name of science!
Jeff, which kid took the gummy bears?
Can you name a famous trombone player?
How do you know my name? I'm Santa.
That was the best I've ever seen!
Thanks, bro.
Every episode is a different story, with different people, played by different actors, sometimes.
I know I've told you this before, but I don't like you.
Is this because we want to get a dog?
How?
We got a dog!
Wham!
Let's get a dog!
Toledo! You're disrespecting painting, you Can you believe he said that?
No, man. Can't change my mind on this. I wish for a bigger
Boy, if I was listening to this on some other podcast that was running a trailer for it, I would sure go listen to it.
You know what? Split-second decision. All of it's real. Yes, I would murder Santa Claus.
Check us out wherever you listen to podcasts.
New episodes released first Monday of every month. Fat Tangle is also launching its podcast network this month, so go check it out on their website at fattangleproductions.com and follow them on social media at Fat Tangle Podcast on Twitter and at Fat Tangle Productions on Instagram. Look forward to seeing you there. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, we got a new sponsor here, and they're called The Art of Manliness.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, have you heard of them?
I've heard of these folks. Yeah, I've been on their website several times.
You've been on their website?
Yeah, they talk about everything, man. You know, like how to wear a sports coat with jeans, or how to give yourself a buzz cut, or style tips for men.
Really? Well, guess what? I have not heard of them until now, and now I'm excited because you know what?
You're not a man.
Well, I am a man.
You're not a manly man.
All right, so this is really the show for manly men. Are you sick and tired of wading through 2 hours of fluff in order to get a few good takeaways? Have you listened to podcasts that make you just go, Tune into the Art of Manliness podcast, where you can glean and distill the very best insights from the world's experts in self-improvement, philosophy, and practical skills, history, and a lot more. And do it all under an hour. Without all the eye-rolling filler, you can walk away from every episode, Art of Manliness podcast, with actionable insights you can start implementing today to improve your life. You can listen to them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your other podcast players.
Welcome back to TechTime Radio. How's the whiskey tasting, Mike?
A little different this time.
It was a little bit. Now it's got a little bit of air.
A little bit more bite since it's been hanging out.
It is a little bit. I had a little bit of bite and it kind of burned a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I still like it though.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, we'll see what we get at. All right, we're going to navigate into the fad of technology right now as we move into our next segment.
Okay.
What we found on the web.
What we found on
That's
the
right.
web.
David's been all over that tonight. I haven't said any of the words, and he's done it. We've been working on that.
We haven't
Good
heard
job.
I am a cat.
I know.
I'm not a
We
cat.
got second hour. We can still hear that
Yeah.
too. All right. Okay. So kid apps have been around for years. Putt Putt by Homogeneous Entertainment, based in Bothell, Washington, the most prominent series.
Oh, really?
I
didn't
my
know
research.
that.
Neither
lived there.
did I. I did not. But you like Putt Putt joins the parade? Created in 1992. That's
No
old
kidding.
because
that's old school.
Yeah,
that's
my kids had
back
it.
when we were playing on bulletin boards and stuff.
I
still.
know.
That's like right at the beginning. Yeah, that's right at the beginning of 50 baud modems.
Freddie Fish, Pajama Sam, and others. They sold over 15 million copies. So kids market is a market that grows well. If you take a look at VTech Company,
my
Shark Tank
kids had VTech stuff.
Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful was a big investor and owner in VTech Corporation. Kids electronics for a young age. And you can also take a look at the 1.2 million apps on phones for kids to play with each and every day. Now,
And the ones that turn into gambling sites for adults.
They do. If you have a VPN on that and you're in a different country,
There
you
we
can
go.
absolutely get that. Are social media apps truly safe for kids? A young boy leans back in a rocking chair on the balcony. He had just bought some rocks from Home Depot. He painted them and said, "Let me show you what they look like over here." He points to his collection. There's a blue rock, an orange rock, and one with stars and a flower. A few seconds later, the video carousel switched to another clip. This time it's a girl named Avery who pops a few quarters into her gumball machine and tells her subscribers 97 times it took to get a blue.
Yeah.
It's not for the tiny voices and faces you may think of falling down TikTok's rabbit hole, but in the world, there's a brand new application called Zigazoo, the social media app for kids ages 3 to 12.
Yeah, this one's getting a lot of praise.
It is. It's a short-form video platform launched last summer in 2020. It's a 30-second video challenges that were created by zoos, museums, teachers, musicians, and TV studios to encourage kids to answer questions and to video record themselves. It now has over 120,000 subscribers. And it has everything from singing, dancing, and pet show-alls.
Yeah.
Now, the app requires adults over age 18 to sign up for Facebook and Google or an Apple account. Parents will then decide what access they have. Now, this is a hybrid app, just like Disney's Club Penguin.
Yay.
Okay, this app has been around. It's a family-friendly app that Disney has provided that has different islands filled with games and chat rooms to interact with their friends. The social media app for kids features parental controls and time limits that allow them for safe chat modes.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want a Disney alternative or you don't want the new Instagram/Facebook alternative, you can also use Pop Jam. Pop Jam is a creative social media app where kids under 13 can post content, stickers, create their own drawings, and share them all through the Instagram for Kids process. The app's moderators limit the posts, though, to 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So after 11 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Your kid that's under 13 should be asleep, I guess.
So
that's
from
great parenting.
12 to 5.
5 a.m. They can't post anything. That's
anything.
right. Would you allow your kid on a social media app?
This I kind of fall into the no camp. To me, this is like the virtual platform of selling cigarettes to kids, because social media is really designed the way it is.
Yeah.
And it has created a lot of addictive qualities that we weren't ready for, and depression and stuff like that.
All right, we're going to talk about this on our second hour. So we're going to come on back and talk about this. Would you allow that? If you have an opinion, you can get on the phone right now at 425-373-5527. You have two opinions. You got passport wallets, and you got, would you allow your kids social media apps? And at this time, we're going to move, of course, into our most segmented and prosperous segment, Mike's Mesmerizing Moment.
Our most awesome one.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. StoriCoffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at StoriCoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at StoriCoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
Hello, Seattle. How would you like to have immediate and easy access to your live EKG and heart rate data? Your data right at your fingertips and with no need to hook up wires and leads or be strapped to a machine at the doctor's office. The new Pulse device from Vivomi continuously tracks your EKG and displays this data on your mobile phone. Have you ever wondered how your EKG and heart rate behaves when you're exercising at the gym, navigating the stressful demands of the workday, or just getting the kids ready for school or relaxing at home? The Pulse is a different kind of wearable, and you can experience this difference by going to www.vivomi.com and ordering your device today.
This is Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, presented by StoriCoffee. Visit StoriCoffee.com.
Woo!
All right.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about the what we were talking about with Nick a few minutes ago.
Okay, about
there's a few reasons why we're doing these things. One is we're trying to get our needs met, and one of the primary ways we try to get our needs met is through money.
Yep.
The other one is that from a human behavior standpoint, we want to trust other people. We want to trust them. It doesn't mean we do, and it's not as naive. We tend to think that's a very naive thing, but we want to trust people to do what they're going to tell us to do.
Okay.
Because it's a social glue thing.
Okay.
So it's easy for me to say, hey, trust me, wink, wink, and you automatically want to do that.
Yeah, there's all this stuff on YouTube all over everywhere. Everybody's trying to get new cryptocurrency companies popping up left and right to invest in, and then also cryptocurrency exchanges. It's just like the new spam bot.
This is one of those. This is like a quick get rich scheme thing.
Yep.
So we all want to get those needs met as quickly as we can, and we have a little design mechanics in our brain that wants us to do that.
What's that called?
Well, it's our survival mechanism.
Yes,
heuristic thinking and all kinds of different things that are going on there. It's more complicated than it seems, but two of the things is that we want to trust these people and we want to get this result.
All right. That was Mike's Mesmerizing Moment. Now, always it's a great time to go to StoriCoffee. Use code TechTime and get your free bag of coffee.
StoriCoffee,
our StoriCoffee presenting our great segment here. So, Mike, we've gotten through almost our first hour. Isn't that exciting?
We do that every week.
I know, and you know,
so I'm not sure why it's exciting.
Because our second hour is going to be filled with a whole bunch of creative ideas.
I think we need to tell about the whiskey.
Our whiskey pick of the day is now. So I am going to do the Evan Williams Single Barrel 2013 86.6 proof. It is $33. I'm giving it a big thumbs up.
Are you?
I am.
I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
Oh, a split vote. Our first season 3 split vote.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not a bad one, but I didn't like the burn that came along after it had been sitting around.
All right, you need to show your NFT up there on the camera so everybody has a chance to get that NFT right there in the big camera. We have David behind the board. He has been busy today. Fantastic job, David. We appreciate you, part of our Tech Time Radio crew. We got Mike Roday and myself. On the second hour coming on up, we're going to have some extended stories from our first deal. We're going to start out with a new segment called Letters. And we got, of course, your favorite segment back, Protect Yourself Today.
Drink more alcohol today.
That's all right. We will be continuing our glass on the second hour. We enjoyed each of you guys, and we hope that you can join us. If you don't have your radio,
come back for Tech
Go take a look at Tech Time Radio Plus. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.